There we go, nice cup of tea. No need to worry about anything. That's still quite hot. Hello lovely human and welcome back to HopeVlogsabout. Today I am vlogging about a film. Now this is something that's probably not going to happen very often because I'm not exactly a film buff. I probably go to the cinema about twice or three times a year. But a film came out this week that part of me didn't really want to see and another part of me knew that I needed to go and see. And that film was Amy. Amy is the much anticipated docu-film by Asif Kapoor about the life and times of Amy Winehouse. For those of you who don't know, Amy Winehouse was a British jazz and soul singer who rose to fame in the early noughties. And if you haven't listened to her music, then I strongly suggest that you do. In fact, I'm going to link some, it'll be up here or up here somewhere, I'm going to link some footage of her singing to this video because, yeah, it's really difficult to describe music to you, so go and listen to that wherever it may be. But yeah, I mean, her music is just so powerful. She had such a distinctive voice and her songwriting abilities are just insane, so please do go and listen to her music. Sadly, however, Amy passed away in 2011 from alcohol poisoning after a long and heavily documented battle with alcohol and drug addiction in addition to bulimia. I was listening to the radio when I found out she died and I actually burst into tears. It kind of took me by surprise because I've never really cried at the death of a celebrity before, but I think it just felt like such a huge waste of talent and such a shame that she'd gone so young and that she wouldn't be able to continue to make incredible music, really. Amy's music also had this incredible quality to it that made you feel as though you knew her. In addition to this, her songs were so personal that you probably did know more about her than you know about a lot of people that you meet in your day-to-day life. And in addition to this, she always came across as being very human, very humble. If you saw her in an interview, she wouldn't put on any airs and graces, she would literally just say it how it is, and that was really endearing and refreshing, and it's something you don't see very much in this age where every celebrity is media trained. And this is something that came across really clearly in the documentary. It's mainly made up of home video footage that her friends and family have taken at various times, in addition to the media footage that became more prevalent as Amy became more famous. It also features a wide range of audio interviews with her friends and family, including her mum, dad, her ex-husband Blake and her ex-manager. And all of these different elements do work really well together and help to create a pretty rounded and non-biased view of Amy's story. As an avid fan of Amy's music, I've always kind of shied away from looking too closely at her life itself, because I've never wanted to taint my very high opinion of her. But actually, watching this film and finding out about her life has just made me love her even more. But I think it's fair to say that fame was a mistake for her, and I think the thing that hit me hardest about the film was that she knew that, and she said it time and again. The film features an early interview with Amy before she's famous, where she states that she doesn't think she'll be able to cope with the pressures of fame, and that if she ever did become famous, then she thinks that she'd probably go mad. But nobody listened to her, and that was probably the biggest tragedy of her life, in addition to the fact that nobody helped her when she was in trouble. It got to the point where she became so famous that the money she could make was more important to the people around her than her own health and well-being, and that's really, really sad to see. At one point in the film, Amy's best friend Juliet recalls a time when she confronted her manager and her father. They wanted her to continue with some long-standing tour dates, but she was a heroin addict at the time and had just overdosed. When Juliet pleaded with them to cancel the rest of the tour dates, they simply responded by saying that she'll be fine and that many successful people function on heroin all the time. That was the attitude of her dad. Since the film has been released, Mitch Winehouse has heavily criticised his portrayal in it and the film in general, saying that it is unfair and misleading. After watching the film, I can definitely understand why he said that, and we certainly hear more about the many mistakes he made rather than the many times he must have helped his daughter. But you still come away feeling that he and her mother and the many people who supported her in the music industry could have done so much more to help her. And for that reason, this film left me not only feeling really sad that Amy has passed away, but really angry. And if there's one thing that I hope this film achieves, is that it creates some kind of positive change in the way that we treat women in the public eye. Amy was never listened to, and when her life started to go downhill, she was mocked and ridiculed in the media. If she'd been taken more seriously earlier on and her concerns about fame had been listened to from the start, then maybe she'd still be alive today. This film made me realise that the way we treat vulnerable young women in the public eye is not only wrong, it's actually pretty disgusting, and it actually makes their problems worse. I'm referring to young women explicitly here because the same thing just doesn't happen to young men. In fact, whilst the bad behaviour of female stars is often mocked and ridiculed, the same behaviour is accepted or simply dismissed in their male counterparts. And there's no doubt about it, that is wrong. On one level, it may feel like it's difficult to change this when we're not journalists or part of the media industry ourselves, but actually as consumers there is so much we can do. And one thing we can definitely do is just stop reading all this crap that is posted about female celebrities when they're going through a hard time. It doesn't matter who you're reading this article about, it could be Lindsay Lohan, Miley Cyrus, Amanda Bynes, to name a few of the people that I've read articles about recently. All of these vulnerable young women are just people, and we need to stop treating them like freak shows, because as Amy's story clearly demonstrates, that is soul destroying. So, I for one am going to boycott all female magazines, internet articles, etc. that shame female celebrities, because I refuse to be a part of the problem anymore. And if you agree with me, then please give this video a big thumbs up, and do comment below as well, because I'd love to hear about your opinions on this one. Do young women in the public eye deserve to be ridiculed in the way that they are ridiculed? What can we do to change it? And also, if you've seen Amy, I'd love to hear from you and what you thought about the film. So I just want to end this video by saying a big thank you to Amy, wherever she may be now. Your music often moves me to tears and has got me through some really difficult times. It never gets old, it never gets boring, and it always remains poignant. So thank you. And thank you for watching, and I will be back again very soon. Okay, thanks guys. Bye. Go. Oh, I just put my finger in my tea. Oh, that was a really stupid thing to do. Who does that? Oh, it's gone on my notebook and everything. Oh.